Now, I love ribs. Today I've got two big packs of back ribs here. Both of these packages are totaling just over 5.5 pounds, or right around 2.8 kilograms. And I'm gonna smoke these up on my Pit Boss 700 FB pellet smoker. So let's do it. So as always, first thing after popping these out of the cryovac packs there was just to pad them dry with some paper towel. And now we want to remove this membrane that's on here, because that's not going to break down during the smoking process, and it's just going to wind up being chewy and a little bit nasty. So I just like to kind of get it started there with a knife, and then using a paper towel to grab on, because it lets you get a grip without slipping off of this membrane here. I'm just going to, of course this always happens when you're on video, I'm just going to go ahead and pull it off. Just like this. It's gonna come, looks like it's gonna come off in a couple of strips, but either way, there we go. There's a good chunk of it. I'm just going to go ahead and get the rest of this off here. Oh, there's another piece, and just getting a grip here. Get a grip. Just using my knife, kind of digging up a little bit more of it here. We'll get the rest of this off, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the same with the other 3 racks of ribs that I've got here. See? Just like that. Easy peasy. Alright, so just using my big meat tub or meat lug here, I'm going to be adding my seasonings. So I've got my favorite little pork rub here. I'll throw the recipe of that in the video description. But all I'm going to do is just give a nice generous sprinkling of this to all these little racks. It'll be a really nice baseline of flavor here for these ribs. So I have the old Pit Boss 700 FB fired up here, and it's sitting at 225 degrees. And now I'm going to add my ribs. This is probably the largest rib smoke that I've done on this unit. So I'm excited to see how this works. Normally I just do a couple of racks at a time on here. However, got more people coming over for dinner today than usual. So let's do this. If I was trying to smoke any more than 4 racks, I would definitely use the my brick smoker for that, because I can fit 1,000,000 racks of ribs in there at the same time. That would be this bad boy right here. But this will certainly do for today. Okay, beautiful. Okay, I've got these in here. I'm gonna let them smoke here for a little bit before I start to baste. After 30 minutes here, I'm gonna go ahead and give these a little spritz down. I've just got a bottle of my J spray, I like to call it, and it is a combination of bourbon, maple syrup, and just a little soy sauce for a little umami character. And this is just going to help keep these back ribs nice and moist, because again, since they don't have as much fat as side ribs have, we want to make sure that they're kept nice and moist during the smoking process. Okay, 1 hour in, and it's time for some more spritzing, and then we are good to let this sit for another 30 minutes. We are now 3 hours in. I've got this temperature turned up to 250, and I also have some nice beans in here that are smoking away. Here we are, just about 4.5 hours in, looking gorgeous. I just keep spraying them down with that spray there, and yeah, just letting them do their thing. All right, after 5.5 hours on here, I'm gonna call these back ribs done. I'm gonna pop them all off. We can get them chopped up. Oh yeah, look at that. And ready to eat. See that these beans are looking pretty done too. Amazing. Well, let's take a look at these ribs. See what we got here. Ooh, nice little smoke ring going on. Cutting nice and easy. Of course, with back ribs, I don't like to cook them as much as I would side ribs, because with that lack of fat, I don't want to risk winding up with these being all dried out. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get these cut up and plated. So while everybody's plating up outside, I'm down here in the hidey hole like I like to hide out in when it's time to sample something and not have a circus going on around me. So I'm gonna just try these beans that you don't know the recipe to. Turned out great. So nice and smoky. That one's coming. All right, but on to the ribs. These massive, beautiful back ribs. All right, that's delicious. So using the pit boss there, I get just like a really nice subtle smoke character with that Traeger competition blend smoke. Using that nice little spice rub on it gives it a really nice base flavor. A lot of character going on with that. You get the garlic, you get the paprika, you get all kinds of stuff. And then with the J spray, you get the bourbon, you get the maple. And just a little bit of that umami there with that soy sauce. Absolutely delicious. Really glad I went ahead and did this today. A wonderful way to sort of coast into the evening with a meat coma. So I'm gonna wash this down. Some of this amazing English Ordinary Bitter homebrew on nitro. Super awesome. Another successful pit boss project. I'm gonna run upstairs and grab a whole bunch more of those ribs before they disappear. So till next time, keep it at 11.